Thank you for clicking on this video, and if you couldn't tell by the title, I work in corporate, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give some wisdom that I wish someone told me when I first started working in the corporate environment. So this is for you if you're getting ready to step into corporate or you just graduated college with your degree. So I'm gonna break the video down into 5 different topics. The first topic is going to be coworkers are not your friend. So usually in a corporate setting, and every role and job is different. So typically in a corporate setting, you're usually going to start off like in a wave class or in a training class. So it's not just going to be you that's going to be the one onboarding. And there are a lot of good benefits to this as you develop amazing friendships, and then also there's a support system, and you're just simply not alone. But just be wary of this, simply because when you start to get close to your peers and coworkers, they're gonna start fishing for information on you, like your age, if you're married, single, if you find anyone in your workforce attractive, if you're liking the job. And as much as this may seem innocent, just be wary that, you know, a lot of people in a corporate setting can use any kind of information against you, and that's just something that you don't want. So, my next topic I'm going to talk about is corporate plays favorites. So, now with this, it's a topic that is honestly like near and dear to my heart. So usually in a corporate setting, you're gonna have something called performance metrics, and this is really, really important. So in a corporate setting, I encourage you to have good work integrity, to do your job to the best of your ability. But from my experience, when I left training, I met my manager, and it went really, really well. You know, I had good metrics, I had good performance, and I just clocked in, did my job, and then I went home. And that's how it should be. But what I noticed is the people who showed up to their shift 30 minutes early to mingle with my coworker, or it was people who over-complimented my manager on everything. I mean, even the smallest thing, they would compliment and just be the biggest kiss ass you could think of. So I wasn't really that way. Don't get me wrong, I was an engaging associate. I had great metrics, great performance, and I was nice to my manager, don't get me wrong, but I never went out my way to please anyone. I just did my job and I went home. And honestly, that's how it should be. But in corporate, unfortunately, it isn't that way. But I know every company's different, but one company that I used to work for, they used to post the metrics for everyone to see. And your metrics will determine, hey, this person's doing great, you want to be like this person, to see what they're doing and whatnot. Or you could see, hey, this person's struggling a bit, or they're not doing as well, yada yada. So I always had great metrics, great productivity. I was always there at work, had great attendance. So when it came around the 3-month mark, and that usually meant it was time for promotions, I noticed that the people that got promotions, they all were very lovey-dovey with my manager, and their metrics weren't that good, and they were never there. So corporate does play favorites. Now keep in mind, this is not everyone's experience. Everyone's experience is obviously going to be very, very different. But just be wary of that. My next topic is, honestly, in a corporate setting, it really honestly, it just depends on your leader. So your corporate experience is going to be shaped on who your manager is. You're either going to have a really good manager and your experience is going to be really, really well, or you're going to have a really bad manager and your experience is going to be shitty. And I have had plenty of corporate managers that were awful to me, and then I've had some corporate managers that were just absolutely wonderful to me. So not only is corporate based on your performance and how well you do, it's also based on luck. And as sad as that is, I wish someone told that to me, because I came into work every single day giving it my all, never calling off, and just giving the company 250%. Don't do that. Give the company 80 or 90%. That should suffice. But don't work yourself to the bone and think that if I do X, Y, and Z, this is going to get me a promotion, because that does not guarantee that. Just keep in mind, if you have a good manager is going to educate you, encourage you, show you what you're doing wrong, teach you the job, and they won't underestimate you. And they'll give you the time to develop your skills, and they're gonna come up with a game plan so that you can succeed and do well and move up the corporate ladder. But if your manager just acknowledges you, barely talks to you, you ask your manager for a side-by-side or for feedback, and it's always met with scheduling conflicts or, half-assed bullshit, that's definitely a red flag. Another topic I wanted to talk about is companies. Now, this is something that you're going to be able to identify in training. So every job, every role is obviously different, but if a company is, let's say if training is 1 to 3 months, just for example. If a company is hyper fixated on 3 things: legal, compliance, and the history of the company, that is the biggest red flag ever. And you're thinking, hey, why is this the biggest red flag? It's, because training is kind of like the period of like free money. You're not really doing anything, you're just learning the job, right? So, no, that's a red flag, because I've been at corporate professional settings where it's been 2 months into training, there's 2 weeks left of training. They haven't taught you the job. They haven't taught you how to answer the phone. They haven't taught you how to draft up an email. They haven't taught you how to talk to customers. They haven't talked to you about preparing documents. They don't teach you how to de-escalate on the phone. That is the biggest red flag. And the reason is because when you leave training, you're no longer under that safety nest of, protection of, oh, this person's still new. If they're not teaching you the job, they will use that against you and find a reason to fire you because you don't know the job. So they'll get mad at you for stuff they never taught you. I have been in that situation, and it was the most toxic work environment ever. My last topic before I go is honestly, just keep your head down, go home, go to work and go home. That's really what it should be about. Your job is, you're there so that you can make money. Obviously, engage, be friendly, make friends, be a positive person, of course. But don't find yourself in drama. Don't get attached to people. You're not obligated to tell people the truth of who you are. just make your money and go home and keep your head down. So those are, my 5 pieces of wisdom that I wish someone told me when I first started off in corporate. I think I could have saved myself from a lot of heartache and pain. But you live and you learn. Corporate is a beast, but it can also bring so many beautiful blessings into people's lives. Alright, well, that was all that I had for today. I'm going to go ahead and get about with my day. If you guys could go ahead and please just follow my socials and like and subscribe, that would just utterly mean the world to me.